Hey, it's the Crazy Cross Stitch Lady. I'm back again after a long time. I just wanted to update you on some things that I have been doing. I've got some projects I'm right in the middle of, and I've got at least one fully finished object. But I do have some plans for some future projects. And honestly, I have a few students who found my YouTube channel and they subscribed to it and they said they wanted to see some more videos. I said, okay. So I am actually dedicating this video to those students, and they know who they are. I can't mention their names because of confidentiality reasons. But I just thought it was really neat that they actually subscribed to my channel and wanted to see more. So here we go. I guess I'll have to do these more often now, won't I? Okay, so I had been working on my Michael Jackson one for a while, and then I had to set him aside because I was working on another big project. And so I'm back working on him, and I intend on really focusing on working on him until I get it done. But I've made a lot of progress. I decided with each page, there's so much black in here, I decided to stitch the black first and then go back and fill in color. So this is where we are right now on him. Let's see if I can, oh, there we go. This is a still shot from the Motown 25 special from 1983. And the picture is where he is kind of holding his microphone and he's looking down while he's singing Billie Jean. So that's where I am. This is stitched on, it's an 18 count white Aida. And when you do, this is called full coverage, because when I get finished, you will not see any fabric. It's just going to be the picture. And when you're stitching something like this, it can get a little tedious and hairy as it is anyway. So it really, you don't need to stitch full coverage on linen or other types of even weave. Some people like to do that. I don't think it makes any difference because you're not going to see the fabric anyway. So I typically find it easier to actually stitch it on the Aida rather than trying to wrestle with linen or anything else like that. So that's him, and I'm hoping to have him completely finished. I'm hoping in the next month or two to have him finished. Okay, I do have a finish. This one is called, this is a Lizzie Kate design. And it was stitched on 27 count cream Northern Cross linen. And this is, today was a total waste of makeup. I'm not a huge Lizzie Kate fan. She's a very famous designer in cross stitch world. She does a lot of little cutesy sayings and things. So I'm kind of like, you know, but I thought this suited me very well since I'm totally addicted to makeup. And I have struggled trying to find how I'm going to FFO this, which means fully finished object. And my husband suggested that I put it on a mirror, which I thought was an awesome idea. And then I couldn't find a mirror where this would fit. Even when you trim it down, there's still, I mean, it's long, so there's still a lot to it. But I found a mirror in Bed Bath & Beyond. It was a set of 3 mirrors. I can put the other 2 downstairs in the basement. But this one had some like plastic rings on the inside of it as part of the design. I said, well, that's not going to work. So I had almost abandoned the mirror idea. And then Steve said, well, let me take a look at that and see. I might be able to get those rings off. Well, he was able to do it. So I don't know if this is going to play havoc with the camera or not. So yeah, you can see, ooh, that looks wild. So, but you can see where he has trimmed that off. And so I can easily, I was going to put like pearls and little, all different kinds of little decorations on it anyway. So once I get this trimmed, it will easily fit onto the mirror where you can still see some mirror left. So that is exactly what I plan on doing. I'm going to use this mirror, and it's not really heavy. It's fairly light. So I'm going to use that. Let me shuffle this over. And hopefully in the next week or two, I can get that one completely finished. Now, I was working on another one that was called Old Irish Blessing. This one was stitched 2/2, just like the last one was 2/2. This one stitched 2/2 on 28 count cream Lugana. And this is basically an Irish blessing. And so this is the FFO. I'm going to hang this on my wall. It's kind of hard. I don't know if I can come back far enough. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, so there it is. And what I did was I took some mat board and I put some fabric over the mat board. And then I took some foam core and I pinned this to the foam core to kind of make it stand out a little bit. And then I had some lace. I've got all kinds of lace. So I found some green lace and I glued the lace around. And then I had some ribbon, some more, actually this is not lace, I mean it's lacy ribbon. But took some more ribbon and I doubled up on the ribbon to make a hanger for it. And I took the same ribbon to make this little bow. And so there you have it. So I think this glue is well set now. So I'm ready to put that one on the wall. Now this one I don't think I've shown you. My husband is an enabler, and so we were talking about, I think, black work. I was trying to explain what black work was in cross stitch, and he said, why don't you stitch a QR code? And at first I was like, what? And then the more I thought about it, the more I thought it would be really cool, and it would be really neat to see if we could actually scan this. So I stitched a QR code, and this is about 3 inch by 3 inch, something like that. And he scanned it, and it does work. I actually created a QR code for Embroidery.com, which I'm part of their Facebook community. And so I thought that would be apropos. And he scanned it, and it worked. So I was like, awesome. That was pretty cool. Well, and then I had this piece of purple cloth. I bought this fabric, and this is, let's see, this is a 28 count opal linen. It's opal colored. I mean, it looks purple. It's purple. But just beautiful. And I don't know if the camera can pick up. It's got like these little blue sparkles in it. Yeah, I think you can see it. And I just loved it. And I bought it just because I thought it was so pretty. I thought, I'll find something to stitch on it. I'm not sure what. So it's been a while, but I think I have found something to stitch on it. I think it is big enough for it. It may take me a little bit to, this has been folded for so long, it's gonna take me a little bit to iron that out. But I subscribe to this Flosstube channel. The guy who does the Flosstube channel is the one who runs Modern Folk Embroidery. And he is, I love to listen to him because he specializes in samplers. And if you don't know what a sampler is, I think a lot of you do, but if you don't know what a sampler was something that was stitched by young girls, typically back in the early 1800s. And this was how they learned how to sew. And so they would sew or cross stitch different motifs, different patterns, borders, just anything to help them learn different stitches, just basically to learn how to sew. And so he specializes in that, and he also designs samplers as well. And it's really interesting because he'll give the history of the sampler. If he knows who the little girl was, or he thinks he knows, and then finds out something about her and where she lived and how old she was, it's really interesting. So I bought a couple of patterns from him. This one is called Letters from the North #2. It's a series of 3, I believe, but I really liked this because it has the alphabet and numbers in it, and you can also stitch your name, and he stitched his name. His name is Jacob de Graaf. And so this is I can't actually show you the pattern itself because it is copyrighted, but I can show you the picture of this. And the history of this, I chose this one also because it is a Scandinavian style cross-stitch sampler. And you think, well, why Scandinavian? Well, I have a lot of Irish and Scottish ancestry, but I also discovered through the magic of Ancestry.com, and I decided to actually get a sampling of my DNA, and so I sent a saliva sample to them, and I got the results back, and it gave me the percentages of different areas that my ancestry comes from, which is really interesting because you could have siblings in a family and their percentages could be different. It's just how DNA works. And I don't know all the details about it, but I do know a good percentage of mine was Scandinavian. So that means Denmark, Norway, Sweden. So maybe the Swedish chef was my ancestor. No, my luck. But anyway, I've been more and more fascinated with Scandinavian history now. So this is a Scandinavian style cross-stitch sampler. And let's see, I'm trying to see if there was some more history that was put in here. You know, he put red in here, but you can use any color you want. Typically it's monochrome. So typically I would choose one color and just stitch with that color. And if I use 32 count, it is a 22 by 13. So this thing is big, and this is 28. So it would be even bigger. But we will see. I'm not planning on stitching this one on the purple, but I will show you the one that I plan on using. I like this one too. This is another of his. Supposed to be a pillow. I don't plan on making a pillow with this, but here's the pattern for this. This is what it will look like. And this one, it was really neat because he said he was listening to Lorena McKennitt, who is an Irish singer. And so he was inspired by her in exploring the early roots of the Celts. And of course, he talks about how a lot of time, you know, the people in the Scandinavian countries came down into the more southern countries of Europe, and you had a lot of crossing over of cultures, which would explain the mix that I have, which some people would call that a European mutt. I do not appreciate that term, but I will, you know, hold my head up proudly and say, yes, I'm a mix of several. But this one, apparently this pattern celebrates European tradition. Some parts of the design apparently are rooted in Islamic designs. And so it's kind of a celebration of things that we share in common rather than things that separate us, which I really like about him. And so I am planning on stitching this on the purple and kind of making it more of an Easter feel because I love Easter. It's my favorite holiday. So I thought about maybe stitching the different elements in maybe a pink, like I don't know if you can have a bright pastel, but I guess you can. A bright pastel pink, and then incorporate maybe a blue and a green in there as well. And I think that would look kind of neat on this purple, but I'll have to look at my colors and kind of see what will fit. So that's what I'm thinking about doing a little bit later as well. And then a couple other things. I found this in Joann Fabrics, and I liked it looks like you're looking out of a window, and I just like the look of the window, and there's a lighthouse. This is a 10 by 10. They supply, this is a kit, so they supply 14 count Aida. I don't know that I'll do it on this, but this is the picture. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then last but not least, I bought this a long time ago. This is a Civil War picture of Gettysburg, and this is also a kit. It has 18 count, 80 on there, and it's supposed to be like a 12 by 14. And I just thought that looked really cool. So I'll have to stitch this at some point. So that's what I have for right now. And I will keep you updated a little bit later with more things that I'm working on and the progress that I'm making. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Be blessed, be creative, and I hope that you have a fantastic week ahead, and I will see you all later. Bye, everybody.